Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the second game of Conquer the Climb. Today we are joined by Risen, and I am your host, Lixodian. Risen, how you feeling about this?
I'm feeling good, man. Super excited to see the game today. Tournament with fairly new teams coming in. It's always nice to see new talent coming up in the scene. And hopefully both teams do their best. And I think we have quite the game on our hands today.
Yeah, so I think, first of all, maybe for those who don't know, Conquer the Climb is produced and built up by our own Peach ZA in partnership with ACGL, and it's kind of it's aimed at our, I don't want to say weaker teams, it's more our newer teams, those teams that don't have the experience yet, to kind of pair them up with the mentors and our more experienced players in the scene to kind of just bridge that gap, because at a lot of these tournaments we have people at the top of the leaderboard, people at the bottom of the leaderboard, and that middle gap, it's so big. So I really back this initiative to try and push up our teams that are a little bit newer. So I think first of all, our first match wasn't casted, and that was between Fred and Otaku, and Fred is coached by our good old Risen here. So why don't you tell us about that a bit?
Fred, so far, they've really impressed me. It's actually been quite amazing coaching them. Really, really fun team, crazy players, great energy on that side, yeah.
Nice. Yeah. So that game ended up with a Fred W. Fred won 3-0. And yeah, we're looking at a really big game on our hands today because it's Omni Knights versus Loonets. And, these two teams know a lot about each other. Apparently, they scrim each other a lot. These players are also quite active in the Kausa scene as of late. And personally, I know the Loonets very well as they're coached by my captain from Ducklings, Phoenix Tears. But today they are coached by Kuragari and Ontiablo, who are some of our strongest hitscan players in the scene. And what we see here today is Hands of Time, Decaf, Maverick, Lelu, and Slappy Daddy as our starting five. And this team looks really brawly. I mean, with the odd Widowmaker there on the side, but yeah, this team looks really brawly.
Yeah. Definitely this team, I have definitely seen quite a lot of brawl. But also some of the dive. They're not seeing they're trying to dip their toes in the dive a bit, and it looks pretty good. So I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see any dive today as well.
Yeah, amazing news. And then on the other side of things, we have Omni Knights, who are originally coached by Blur, who is a mentor in this tournament, but are now currently coached by, I believe it's Sushi Roll.
Indeed, it is Sushi Roll. So we have Meiwaku, Token, Jinxie, Long Live Pain, and Flops. This team, what I've seen the most of, usually when I sometimes stumble into scrims, I see they do quite enjoy their dive. And Meiwaku has actually just recently joined the Cole roster, and he really enjoys his long-range hit scans, and a bit of Cassidy as well, as we can see. But Token, really, really consistent on the Tracer. Jinxie, a name that we're all familiar with. Pretty decent on pretty much every tank placed into their hands. And the backline as well, quite the playmakers in the backline.
So we're looking at a really aggressive team here.
Yeah, indeed.
Love to see it. All right, so if we take a look at our map pool, we have choices between Lijiang, Nepal, and Samoa. And I was about to say I think we're going to get Lijiang, and then Loonets goes and picks Lijiang.
Have to pick Lijiang, man. Have to.
Yeah, come on, it's the brawl map. It is the brawl map.
Some dive. Lots of teams like playing dive on this.
You can play dive on Garden, right? A little bit of dive on Garden.
Hey man, if you have the spirit, you can play dive anywhere. Even on Control Center. You're
so right. Dive from that top rope kind of vibe.
Yeah. Your team might get angry at you for calling it, but I mean,
imagine trying to get there with no speed boost.
Yeah, man, but at the end of the day, it's worth it. It's dive. Dive's always fun.
Yeah. One thing to note about this is that there is no hero bans, or are no hero bans. So we will be seeing pure Overwatch, No restrictions, none of those weird things. Yeah, these teams get to play what they want to play.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be very volatile in the sense of anything goes. Playing in scrims and stuff, like everybody has started doing hero bans now, because it's coming in the next season. So it's like you're kind of restricted on what you can play because a certain thing just gets banned, and then you're kind of forced into this certain comp, and it's like you can't really play off of it. But now with bans not in the game, it's like they have free will to just do anything and everything. So it's like all the practice put in on the heroes is going to play off now. It's like all going to come down to flexibility, if I must say. Like definitely flexibility in hero swaps
for sure,
and just the ability to do it, to adapt.
You also spoke about the like bans and scrims these days, and for those who are unaware, the Overwatch CS kind of shifted their ban system. So before it was you would ban the hero and then you would lock your roster and you'd play the map. But now you lock the roster first, so you pick your 5 that play the map, you lock them in, and then the bans happen. So now target bans are a possibility. And
indeed,
I mean, if we were to follow that for this tournament, I feel like people who really have their one hero that they shine on will get target banned.
Yeah.
Because there's only 4 teams, and this is a round robin. So everybody plays everybody. And then we go into double elimination. That bracket is not going to be very long. You're going to learn a lot about the players, what they want to play, how they want to play, what they're comfortable on, what you want to force them off of, and just try and target ban. And that just, I feel like that being open is such a game changer and allows us to see the full strength of all of these teams.
No, yeah, for sure. I think it's like it brings up the heart of the tournament, right? Like newer players coming to the scene, showing that they can shine, and I think having all heroes accessible is a good way to do that. You know, like they can swap a hero and be like, all right, I can do good on this hero. Now let me go swap this hero, and now I can do good on this one as well. It's like very good at, like, to show adaptability, because I mean Overwatch, it's very, very, very big section of Overwatch is adaptability, and I think the heart of the tournament to show skills and show that to bring these players up from the lower side into the mid side and eventually into the top side is definitely a good way without hero bans to, like, just show the adaptability. Yeah.
Also, I mean, Overwatch has such a colorful cast of characters. Like, you're definitely gonna need to be versatile and adaptable. Because chances are you run into somebody who OTPs your counter, and then what do you do?
Yep.
So, like me, if I run into a Sombra, you know, my day is ruined. It's all over.
True.
Now everybody in the summer series is going to be like, oh yeah, okay, we got to play Sombra now against Ducklings. Or just ban Lucio. They'll do that. I think that's what's going to happen first. They'll ban Lucio.
You'd be very familiar with the Lucio being banned, wouldn't you, Liz?
Every single time. Wasn't it Vanquish who banned Lucio on while I was casting just to troll me?
Yeah. It was...
That was so
cursed. It was definitely somebody.
We have a voice whispering in our ears that apparently it was Terran's idea, and Terran, I will find you. I will find you.
Amen.
So also, what I think is a very interesting thing, this might be a little bit off topic, but Risen, you've recently made a change to flex support from Hitscan, right?
I have, yes, I have.
What is that like?
What is that like? Oh man, it's a dream. It's a dream, to be honest. Like, playing flex support, I mean, I clicked with Anna immediately. Absolutely love the hero. Don't think I would be where I am now if I hadn't swapped to flex support. I was like, the game was just kind of absolutely like just terrible for the on his scan. But now playing flex support with Kuragari on his scan, man, it's a dream. It's a dream.
Yeah, that's such a vibe. Oh, looks like we are going in. Okay, so if we break down what we see here, Omni Knight's looking at the dive, Loonets looking at the Ram Rush. What do you expect to happen here?
Omni Knights, I've seen them play this Pharah many times. They played it against my team and absolutely cooked us on the brawl. I assume they're very aware of brawl being favored on this map, so they play their dive with a Pharah just to kind of disrupt the brawl. And it works really well. So Loonets are going to have to lock in really hard here.
Oh, looks like we got a pause.
Got a pause off rib. Great, because I was not finished yapping.
Keep yapping.
Yeah, no, Loonets are definitely going to have to play quite meticulous and very, very to the T in order to make this work. Because not only are they playing Brawl, which is relatively weak into a fire spam and a spam dive, rather, but also they don't really have anything to deal with the fire along the lines of like an echo or a hit scan. So it's going to be a lot of hiding and a lot of running out on something really fast and then running straight back again. But if Loonets got that on them, then I'm pretty sure they'll be able to clutch this out.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that Reaper Tracer and you're thinking, well, what are my DPS supposed to do? The Tracer will get eaten up by those fire rockets, and Reaper just doesn't reach that unless he somehow picks up a sniper. But yeah, those shotguns don't really do much. Yeah. But yeah, and then also like you can think about the Moira wanting to deal with the fire, but like, it's just not sustainable enough.
It's like. You think of Moira Lucio backlines, right? The comp wants to go fast because the Moira is eventually going to run out of resource, right? Like the heal doesn't last forever. Like she does a crazy amount of healing, but it doesn't last forever. And I think if Loonets are going to run this, I'd much rather see maybe the Tracer swap to an Echo, or maybe even a full comp change, like something like a Diva, or maybe just mirror, mirror the dive and play an Echo instead of a Pharah, or you can match the Pharah if you think you could do that. But if they're going to keep this, then I think for them, they're going to need to play fast, and they're not going to need to get something done, because I feel like with their comp, they will be able to sustain a little bit. And so I think they're just going to have to abuse the fact that they have that Moira timer and that they can use it. And they just have to make something happen in that time frame. Otherwise, it's not going to go great.
Yeah. Also, with Stormy in, I believe one of Stormy's favorite heroes is Soldier. So I don't think we see the Echo. I do think maybe if the Pharah starts peppering them and they see that's a problem, they probably switch to the Soldier. And then Stormy goes to deal with that. But we'll see. I mean, we're right back in.
Yep. So, starting off the spam here, looks like Loonets are going into White Room. This is a good approach from them. They're hiding from the spam. Omni Knights are looking just a stage wide here. Trace on the left. Omni Knights just have to kind of take the space here, set up the fire angle, and Loonets are doing a good job of taking point this time. Fight on point. Oh, looks like tokens following the map. This is really good for Loonets. Loonets are walking in. A really good space. You can walk on the break. That's unfortunate death for the fire player there. I mean, if that doesn't happen, then I think they just have free angles on point.
Yeah, I think with the Pharah going down there, it's an open game for Loonets. We had the Tracer stage on the side. But we are going straight back into the fight. I mean, Jinxie diving straight
Jumping in from Jinxie, taking attention. Bubble on a point. We're going to look for the fire spam now. Look at Reaper getting low. Force the Wraith. Ramacha form out as well. This is not looking great for Loonets. Loonets go for another cycle. Fire spam is just absolutely breaking this punk apart. Get the Lucio pick on the Leilu, and now it's just a matter of cleanup. No supports, like they might as well just reset here and go for the next fight.
What they, I think on Loonet's side didn't pick up is that the nade, they don't have anything for it, right? If that nade goes down, that is your entire fight pretty much shut down. They can't keep up their momentum. They can't keep up that aggression if you don't have any healing. So we might need to see a Kiriko swap. We might need to even see a full dive swap. But
honestly,
if Flops keeps hitting these... I
wouldn't hate to see a Kiriko swap, definitely, and then maybe something for the tank. Like match a Winston, or even a Diva. Like the Reaper Tracer can still work with a Winston or a Diva here. When we're coming into the next fight, there's a bubble on main, splitting up the teams. It's like the Ramacha is just left fending for himself here. He just have to hold up the arms. He's antied now. And after that, no arms. Cole coming out from Slappy, maybe to turn the fight around. They lost decamp from the process though. They are sustaining the damage though. They're taking the space. Rally out from Long Live Pain. We got to pick onto Stormy. That fire is still alive. It's just hard for the team to do anything.
Yeah, and I mean, with that anti again, your Ram is just kind of stuck in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. There's nowhere for him to push. There's no aggression. You can't get aggro with that. And the Cole trying to save it, but I mean, you can't Cole through an anti. So.
Yeah, it's like they have to like poke and prod until an anti comes out, and then they just have to run it down and hope something dies in the process while they're getting absolutely pummeled by a Pharah.
Yeah,
I mean,
this
the
whole
Nets coming
comp
into the
seems
white
like
room
a-
again. I like the white room rotation from the Nets here. Coming onto point, the strength is definitely on point. Finding that, oh, Nano Barrage, it's just edge. That is just definitely not great to be walking white room into.
Yeah, the nano there is maybe like the best decision. I feel like
Yeah.
the ult economy is kind of strange now because Loonets are coming up 4 ults and Omni Knight's sitting on just 1. So if Loonets plays this right, they can probably cycle those 4 ults, maybe drop Ram, maybe drop Pulse into this, and or even aggro beat. If they've been ult tracking properly, they'll aggro beat this.
Yeah. Looking at it from Omni Knight's side though, like all they have to do is they could lose here and they can just come back stronger with no. But the Ramasha popping Ramasha ult here. Just 2 ults and they do win the fight. It's not terrible for Loonets. I'm gonna bridge now. It's not worst case scenario for Loonets, but Omni Knights are gonna come back with a Bob.
I think
And
this
this
might
is
be
gonna be able
best
to
case
split-
scenario.
Yeah.
I mean, they had their 4 ults. They dropped only 2. Now they can aggro beat. They can beat the Bob and destroy him, even or just
That is
Reaper ult
true.
into their fight. And
Jump in from
what can they do?
Jason, bring up the team again. Oh, it's just it's a really good engage from Loonets walking on. They dropped the beat as well. All they have to do
Interesting
is just
beat,
fight
but I
this
think
brig
for the
here.
best.
Looks like they're walking slow back to point. Oh, that's unlucky. 2 off the map.
think
Looks like
so.
Bob went off the map actually. Okay, probably got booped, I think. Funny for point. It's looking good for Loonets right now. Still
Yeah, I
final
mean,
point.
this
Looking at the
Ram-
break. The break pop rally. Remote. Reaper ult as well. Let's run the brig. This is looking really good for Loonets right now. Call from Loonets side. There's no tank on the side of Omni Knights. It's kind of just a cleanup phase for Loonets here. A big nade, but it doesn't seem like it's going to be enough. The brig is dead. It's just Ayana. It's actually a crazy turn from Loonets.
I think, yeah, it was the Omni Knights who absolutely burned through their ult economy, was left with 1 ult, and even then, that 1 ult kind of just like went by the wayside with the Bob falling off the side of the map.
Yeah, I mean, like,
And then Loonets just have 4 ults to cycle. Like, there is no way you can come back from that once your ult economy is that thrown out. It takes too long to recover. It takes too long to reset that. And the Tracer Ram combo, like the pulse threat, the Ram taking that space, and then the beat to close off the fight. I mean, it was just
yeah, for
it was
sure.
just good management from Loonets.
Yeah.
I think that's how they win the fight.
yeah. Like I said, Loonets had to be really locked in to win the brawl into the Faraday, and it seems like they are definitely locked in. Looking like they're trying to win this tournament for sure.
I mean, now we have this Mauga, and
Yeah, the
I
Mauga,
think
like,
the
it
Ram
looks
is
like
gonna
they just want to play
struggle.
the brawl. Yeah, for sure. Not really enjoying the dive, so they just want to take. Maybe they think they're strong on the brawl. Lunet's rotating straight to point. I really like this rotation from Lunets. They still have the Farah though, which is just, it's going to be a pain for Lunets the entire time. Just taking spam constantly. When we're going low, forced to fade. The Lucio's in front. Oh, it's down for Lulu. Up to Lunets to try and turn this now. Slam in from Jinxie on the back line. Moira gets traded. Now it's just a matter of cleanup for Omni Knights.
Yeah, I mean, Omni Knights made that very quick with Token taking out the supports there, and the point pressure, sure, it's good, but if you can't take out your threats, and noticing that this Pharah is such a threat to you, if you can't deal with that early enough, then I mean, what does space mean?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's Leilu getting a little bit aggressive on the Lucio there, I think.
I think this Tracer angle as well is
no
great.
ults for either
but-
side, so it's just gonna be a battle of attrition at this point, and the Pharah will win that battle of attrition. Running in a main here, the Sojourn is low, the Marsh is making something happen, that's huge for Lunets. Slept on point, but I think it's fine, it's a little too late for Omni Knights here.
Yeah, I mean, Token's still fighting back, but when your Mauga is down and you're down 3, this is only really just for point progress.
Yeah. I mean, it certainly
Omni Knights
doesn't
do have-
seem like...
Yeah, go for it.
It certainly doesn't seem like either side is really showing any forms of like inferiority. Like both sides are snapping back really strong each fight. And coming into this next fight now, we have the barrage, but we also have the pulse bomb. And if we can maybe try and find a good pulse bomb early, the barrage might not mean anything. But they're all gonna group up here with the big suck. I really thought the barrage was coming out there. Spamming in the main. Going for the slam. It might look like the barrage coming soon. Token going over the top. He's looking for a call from... Oh, he's looking... Oh, yep.
Oh, that is an unlucky trade. I mean,
The call from Loonets to try and sustain the slam, but it's like... You can't out-sustain a barrage, man.
The barrage is way too strong, and now it's just cleanup.
Yeah.
I mean, with that, I think now finally we have an even ult economy, and we can kind of see the neutral between these two teams, and Omni Knights is looking to have the better neutral. They seem really well poised. They know what their threats are. They know the order of operations in this case. But yeah, Loonets, you can't count them out. They're a very scrappy team.
They are
they're
definitely showing up.
Yeah, definitely showing up. I mean, it's just some more poke.
The cage nano and clock for Omni Knights. This is gonna be quite tough to try and force the point away from them. We're getting the nano onto the Pharah. Ramacho ult in response. Doesn't look like much going on. Oh, we traded support for the tank. There's a better trade for Omni Knights. Should have Reaper on point. Oh, he gets one, he gets two. Jinxie's low. Wait. Lunet's actually making a huge comeback here. Stormy with the 2 on his ult.
Yeah, I
certainly didn't believe that was happening from the Knights there.
Yeah, like not tracking the Reaper ult might have been what cost them there. I mean, they wanted to go aggressive with that nano, obviously. But
they kind of nanoed the fire and then just... I don't think there was a direction. Everybody was just on different stuff.
Yeah,
I kind of didn't really kill anything out. Coming in Ray from main to try and force the aggression at the point. The Reaper on this off angle is really making it difficult. So, Clock from Maywaku, he gets one.
Disgusting.
He's good for the Reaper next, yeah. Beat from Loonets though, I think it's a little late.
Yeah, that is a little bit of a late beat there. And unfortunately now that kind of throws things out the wayside because now you don't have beat for when this barrage comes back. You can't really get aggressive.
Usually beat for a clock is alright, but I think it's just a little late. Omni Knights looking strong here lately with the early pick. I don't think it's going to be a comfortable touch for Loonets here. Jinxie slamming back on a point, looking to stable. Oh, we get a touch. Reaper on the point. He's just insta-dead, man. And the barrage comes out onto the Moira. It's just left to Maverick, and unfortunately that's... A 1v5 is not usually a very easy task, is it?
Yeah, that's a great round from both teams. I mean, so now we're seeing this like almost familiarity between these two teams. Yeah. They kind of are predicting each other at this point. Sure. Omni Knights made the perfect switch to that Mauga and that Sojourn, and even the Juno to now go to like get really aggressive. And this finally, Slappy looking at the Kiriko. This is finally what we need because I mean, if Long Live Pain just keeps getting these antis, it is so hard to just try and outlive and sustain because you're gonna struggle. First of all, against their ultimates when they get them, but Pharah spam is so much damage. You can't just stay in the fight, try and run away from it. You have to hide, and a Brawl Comp doesn't want to hide. So we're struggling.
Brawl Comp wants to sustain fast and just go back fast, but on Control Center, I don't really know about the Pharah here because like the Pharah into the Ashe Tracer, it's really easy to mark Pharah even on Tracer on this map, but it looks like Omni Knights are going to go straight for the point, but Loonets are not going to let them stay. They're just going to run over them. The Ana is on point in a really precarious spot. Leilu does get overzealous though and gets traded out. Omni Knights Loonets going to try and look for a trade, but I don't think they can find one. And with 2 down, I just think it's not going to be possible for Loonets this time.
Yeah, Loonets always seem to be down 1 quite early in the fight. And that is what Omni Knights... It's either Omni Knights really kind of putting the pressure there, or Loonets overstepping their welcome a little bit, and then...
Yeah, it seems like Loonets are going, but some of them are just getting left behind. And then, in turn, the people who have gone are kind of left just to hang out to dry. So I think Loonets kind of need to move as 5, as a brawl, and just not let this fire spam them out, and then they should be chilling. But I mean, the fight over server room is usually what happens here. We get pick onto Maywaku from Stormy here. This is Loonet's green light to go. Stormy is on the crazy high ground angle, looking decaf with the Ana pick, and it looks like Loonets will carry this next one out on fire. Yeah, it's just as soon as that Ana goes down, it's kind of difficult for Omni Knights to get any sort of sustain. Even with the Juno alive, it's like there's not much to stop Loonets from just running you over.
Yeah, that was a really good first pick from Stormy on the Ash up there on the high ground. But the problem with that fight, I think, obviously could have been a lot faster if Loonets just kind of ignore Jinxie in there, right? Because it takes so much time to kill a Mauga, but if you remove his Ana, you remove his Juno, then what is he going to do?
Yeah, they should, definitely, like, if the Mauga is just going to slam like this, for instance, like, they should just look to go back. Because, like we've just seen, he's just going to sustain back to full HP. Juno going low, though. With the Ana on point, in a precarious position. It looks like on Ana next. Ana dead. Yeah, Loonets just pretty A+ fight from Loonets there.
Yeah, now
like, Omni Knights' Ana is just to be a bit more careful, maybe. Just kind of walking out.
I don't even think it's that. I mean, Stormy keeps getting the better of Meiwaku, and
that's true.
Not having that consistent Sojourn damage, you're not going to chunk down that Ramatra as nicely. I mean, sure, Pharah does a lot of damage, but Pharah's going to have to hide from this Ashe. And you can't play as outright in front. And also, I believe Decaf is looking for this beautiful pulse bomb.
Recall forced off Rip, though. That's kind of scary for Decaf. Cage out from Jinxie and a barrage. Oh, and an anti-nade. Oh, it's just over for Loonets. I think we just take the reset and come back stronger, I think.
But they will have beat.
Yeah, they will have beat. And Kitsune and Pulse. Like, we take an early Kitsune here. And if Omni Knights respond, then we have beat and we have a strong fight for the side of Loonets here. Only losing the Bob there is not terrible for Loonets.
Yeah, it still keeps their ult economy in good shape. But with Omni Knights holding this like space, it's looking very scary to try and enter. Because like, how do you just walk up to a Mauga? The Mauga will completely shred you.
I think the question has just been answered. We just go all the way around. We get the Kiriko ult out, but we get traded. The Juno Ray now, it's going to be very difficult to try and out-sustain a Juno Ray. The trade onto Ramatra, and Loonets just lose our Kiri out early there. It's kind of extremely difficult to even sustain.
And the Kitsune came out as well. That's not a trade you want, really. Now they just have beat, and Omni Knights has clock. So it's kind of the two that go hand in hand. You hear the clock, the beat comes out, but it's not a lot of time to work with.
Yeah, we get to touch on a point with the beat. The beat doesn't really hit that many people. Leilu's fighting for her life on point here, but we do get up the trade. Stormy and Decaf absolutely running the lobby right now.
Oh, beautiful work.
Loonets can thank Stormy and Decaf for another try at this map.
What they need to be careful with now is this claw.
Last fight for Loonets. It is now or never with very, very, very precarious ult charge. And Meiwaku coming in with the clock. I think it's just going to be an early clock and go in. Jinxie with the slam, the clock comes out. Token gets traded, but the trade onto the Tracer, it's even right now, but Juno is down. The trades are going either way. It's even for the teams right now. Trade onto Meiwaku. Stormy is strong on the high ground. Kiriko is forced to clinch. We have Bob now. I think it's not looking bad for Loonets. Bob is stalling out the point. Omni Knights are going to try and fight the Bob. The Kiriko's walking in. Jinxie with the slam main to try and get onto the Kiriko. The fire is back as well, spamming them out. The cage from Jinxie might have just saved the day. It's just Decaf on point, and it looks like it's going to Omni Knights. What a crazy last fight that was.
Wow. I mean, you can't even say that one of these teams looked ahead at any point. It's always trades. It's always adapting to the other team. And I mean, Meiwaku, getting play of the game here. Those clocks are dangerous.
Yeah. No, Meiwaku is fairly new into the scene. Little bit of lore. He's actually Kuragari's little brother. So you can imagine why the aim looks as crispy as it does. It's not surprising to me that Meiwaku is running these fights when he is able, like as some of us Overwatch players say, when he is past the ball, he delivers. So he
stays balling. You can handle him on a court. But what makes it look so competitive is that the DPS of this team, both of these teams, are pretty strong. It doesn't seem like there's a weak point in their front line. It just seems to be that the coordination of the team, the teamwork, the putting pressure on all of the people, all of the certain cores, the support core or the frontline core. The pressure comes at the right time, and it just seems like Omni Knights, their neutral is looking a little crispier than Lunets's.
No, for sure.
Because it's always at the start of the map, there is one pick against Loonets, and then Omni Knights just pushes the gas, they put pressure on that wound, and they win out the fight. What I can say is that Lunets' ult economy is looking really good most of the time.
Yeah.
And if ults don't get cancelled, like that Kitsune or, the pulse goes a little bit wide, then I think this looks a little bit different.
Yeah, that fight when the Kitsune came out, the rotation was decent, but I think what ultimately happened there, they took spam from the Pharah, and then the slam was just kind of the nail in the coffin, the Kiriko was already sent low from the spam, and then Jinxie running in with the slam. It was just the perfect situation. Lunets had the idea, had the initiative to ult out of there, but I think it's just Omni Knights had the correct response and the correct positioning to put Jinxie in that situation, to slam the spam, and it just worked out. Losing your Kiriko and then them answering your Kiriko rush with a Juno Ray is virtually impossible to sustain after that, because as we all know, Kiriko doesn't heal you like Juno does, and if you lose your flex support, I think maybe they could have beat there and trying to turn it around with the Kiriko rush. I would have liked to see that, but I think at the end of the day, both teams played really well this map, and I don't think it's going to be easy for really any side to kind of just run away with this match.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we talked about the familiarity between these two teams, and I feel like knowing what's coming is almost worse than not knowing what's coming, because you can get in your own head. And they probably knew Token wanted to play this Pharah. They probably knew that, and they probably thought, okay, we'll play around that. But then I feel like you could almost over-engineer your rotations. And
that is very true.
And then you kind of, you're trying to do too much, and you're not doing enough then. Because none of it's
in a nutshell, right?
Well, right?
Rotating out of main is not a bad idea, because the Pharah wants to look for you there. But rotating into a relatively smaller choke, it's not really much of a difference, because we just put ourselves in a different position, and the Pharah is just Pharah, man. She's just gonna fly around, and she's gonna shoot bullets, and you're gonna get tilted, and it's we kind of banned Pharah, so I want to see what Loonets do to answer to this Pharah, or if they have an answer at all. Because so far it seems like Token is just the GOAT on Pharah currently.
What I think is that Stormy on this Ashe, is looking to deal with that. I think
and he's looking,
that was the correct response.
Yeah.
They just couldn't execute it properly, because now there was another problem thrown into the mix with the Mauga. How do you run that?
The
Ramatra picking.
Oh yeah, they're picking the map. But the Ramatra is not actually a bad pick into the Mauga. I feel like if Loonets play Juno, Ramatra can actually stay longer than a Mauga. Even though Mauga is shooting you and sustaining, the Ramatra can get the edge, because block just does so much.
Yeah.
But around that, I think how their comp is playing out is Jinxie wants that to happen. Jinxie wants the Ramatra to hold his hands up so that he can't move out of the Pharah spam. And then the Pharah spam is what's cooking them, eventually, It's when I'm coaching teams, I'm always talking about the jab and the hook, right? The Mauga in this case is the jab, and the Pharah is the hook. And the hook is definitely hitting really hard.
Yeah. And I mean, also beyond that, right? If your Ram has his arms up, it's so hard to get to block for the rest of your team, because now you have this Pharah who just has the angle, and your supports, what are they going to do? It's a Kyrie and a Lucio. If that Lucio isn't kind of dueling the Pharah, which I wouldn't recommend, but
me neither.
I do it. So
yeah,
I might be a little guilty
here, guys. Lick says dual Pharah on Lucio.
Whoa! That's taken out of context. Let's not do that. I'm saying, if your supports aren't dueling the Pharah, right, they're not going to have anything done. But the problem is your supports can't duel the Pharah, because that's not a viable strat. So you need to rely on the rest of your team to do it. But if your Ram has his hands up, your Ashe is looking at the Sojourn, which, by the way, Stormy did get the better of Meiwaku, but you're leaving Token to just do what he wants.
Yeah.
And
I-
you
yeah.
you don't want that to happen.
I think if we maybe look for a little bit more angles, a little bit of a split engage, and we all converge into one, so that the Pharah doesn't get 5-man spams, then we'll be chilling. But yeah, Omni Knights picking Servasa, I believe.
No, it was Loonets picking
Or was
Servasa,
Loonets picking Servasa.
Yes. Which I'm not surprised about at all. I mean,
Yeah.
Servasa is a brilliant
Brilliant
brawl map,
yeah.
but it does enable Pharah.
But Pharah is not as easy to play on Servasa as she is on Lijiang.
true.
Servasa has some crazy long angles. And with Stormy on the Ashe, as good as he's looking, I don't think the Pharah is going to be as free as it was on Lijiang if they want to play it here again on Servasa.
We just got
oh.
note that Stormy's been subbed out, so
Stormy
it's
has
probably
been
Hands of
subbed out,
Time
no?
being subbed in.
Hands of Time. Right.
Yeah, they're other hit scan players, so it looks like
Okay,
we're
so-
probably going to get some Ashe gameplay.
Maybe Stormy wasn't feeling it. I think Stormy was doing great, but now we have Hands of Time on the Ashe as well. So I think we can definitely expect a similar outcome.
We also have another sub on Manro instead of Slappy Daddy, so Manro on the flex
Okay.
support now, probably because they
Manro
want to run the
on-
Juno.
Juno, right. Okay, that would probably make sense why they didn't play the Juno last map. But I like the Juno swap here. And the Queen comp. Okay. This is...
Yeah, so we have that
This-
mirror Brig Juno backline.
Yeah, and the Queen actually is better into Mauga, theoretically. If you play slow and play to your advantages, you can overwhelm the Mauga comp. And especially with the Queen ultimate, there's absolutely nothing that Omni Knights can do into a Queen ultimate. So that is probably just a free fight win for them when they get it. But yeah, coming in, we see Loonets wanting to go for the aggressive engage onto the Mauga of Omni Knights, but unfortunately it looks like Leilu gets traded out early, and Maverick soon follows after a fast early fight for
Really
Omni
quick
Knights.
fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that first pick immediately is just like a call to run out. I mean, if you lose your Brig, now you're
is
suddenly
true.
one down. You're losing that like body
This-
of your
Yeah,
of your
this mirror,
team.
it's like Brig wants to get value.
Yes.
But Brig is also the prime target for both of these teams.
Yeah.
And if the Brig overstays, you're just cooked.
I mean, the pressure
so
points
scary.
are insane.
Yeah. But yeah, coming in, Lunet's taking the fight from Archway once again. Long Live Pain dropping really low, gets traded. The Juno trade from the side of Lunet's. Only having the Brig here is kind of tough, but it looks like we're going to pressure onto the Juno. The Juno gets traded out. This is looking good for Lunet's. Soon following the Genji. But the trades are going both direction. Sure, with Hands of Time on the angle though. Yeah, we get the trade onto Miwaku, and now we're just fighting it out in a dogfight on point with the Mauga. And it looks like the Queen for Loonets is going to come out on top. But 80% for Omni Knights. That is really good.
It's looking tough because now you're gonna have to hold pretty much an entire flawless hold, and
Yeah.
you know that early pick. I think with Hands of Time sitting on that angle, beautiful work, beautiful pressure. You're having them split. But something I am noticing from Loonets is the fact that they are a little bit distracted sometimes.
That is true.
You
What I'm also
have these
noticing
really
is
low
the
picks.
Queen ult is coming soon. And if, okay, they lose their Brig. This is already looking bad for Omni Knights. Traded the Brigs now. Ash on the high ground doing crazy pressure run out. Oh, the Juno trade from both sides as well, but the Queen goes down. They're all low. Can Hand of Time do it? Oh, unfortunately, he can't.
Token just went on an absolute rampage there, and I mean that kind of
that
put
is-
things on
Yeah.
the back foot for Lunette, because now what are you gonna do? Like Token is picking up your entire team. Is there even
Yeah.
a touch? But we're looking at quite even on the board ult charge, right? We're
Yeah.
looking at these DPS ultimates, and we're thinking, well, if that blade comes out, we're probably waiting for Ray if we want a blade. But if that blade comes out, what do we do against it? Like, how do we counter it?
Yeah.
Other than just running away, like, what's the plan?
Yeah, we're short on the rally, but what I'm seeing is the thing that's like looking me in the face is the Queen ult. Like, Omni Knight's comp has absolutely zero things to do against this Queen ult. So if I'm Lunet's here, I'm just looking for the Queen ult straight out, and it looks like it's gonna hit. The Juno coming low, crazy engage, but Omni Knights have turned it around. the blade from Token as well. Oh, that is a devastating fight loss for Loonets.
I think that was the perfect response from Omni Knights, is to just blade and just to hope, because now obviously the queen is in the back line. Where is the like tank body? Where is the we need to look at this person to kill them kind of vibe? Now your back line is just completely open.
It's struggle. Like the aggression from a Sojourn Genji is trumping the slower pace of this Ash Tracer, and I think that's what happened in that fight. The queen ulted and got so many, but there was no aggression from the DPS line, and Omni Knight's coming in again with the same thing and getting the Brig, Tracer, and the Juno soon follow after with a cage from Jinxie and a clock.
Yeah, I mean,
quite a lot of ults used. I mean, it's not terrible for Loonets. Like, this is still touchable, and 2 ults was used. Loonets can come back here with ults.
Yeah. And I mean, Loonets coming up 4 ultimates.
Yeah.
So they're looking to be very aggressive here. They're looking to probably Juno ult in if they can get it.
2 support ults from Omni Knights. It is not impossible for Omni Knights to survive this, especially with the Mauga, who can just live in a Juno Ray forever.
Yeah. No, but as long as we get as
Bob onto point, gets stunned up along the pain. Double rally trade with a Juno Ray from Omni Knights. Along the pain going low. It looks like both sides. Oh, we get the slam with the break, and everybody soon follows suit. Oh, it's just unfortunate.
This is
Omni Knights looking just a little bit better on the brawl here.
Such an unlucky fight, because I mean, Loonets, they invest 3 ultimates there. Actually making up swaps here, because now, I mean, we don't have this far to play.
So we go the Reaper, we go the Mei, the Ramattra, the Lucio.
The Juicio backline.
I don't hate this. I don't hate this from Loonets.
Really
this is kind of just like, I feel like we just hate the Mauga. We kind of just want to get him off the face of the earth. We'll look for the wall, look for the crazy DPS that the Reaper can provide. But what I'm looking at is the pressure from the Genji angle and the Sojourn that can play range. Like, the Nets are going to have to play really fast, really aggressive to actually close the distance on this comp. We get the pick onto Meiwaku. Jinx with the slam. Doesn't really connect. The trade onto the Kiriko. Trading onto the Brig as well. The fight is looking fairly stalemated right now, but the kill onto Flops is probably going to tip it into Lunet's favor. Genji soon follows, and Jinxie is going to look to die point here as well.
I think the switch is exactly what they needed. The adaptability that we're seeing from the Nets is the perfect response, because I think they ran into a wall twice, and the wall wasn't breaking. So what do? We try a new tool. And they really love the Ram Mei brawl.
Maverick seems to really enjoys Ram.
Yeah, and Decaf is an excellent Mei, so it's a really strong pick for Loonets into this fight.
I think this is going to come down to like how the Sojourn of Omni Knights is going to play, and Jinxie getting really overzealous here, but the sustain is going to come out. The blade from Token, the Mei ult on point, it could punish Jinxie. Is Jinxie going to get frozen? No, she's out. But Token, the blade, Jinxie on trade into Jinxie. The blade didn't really find anything. The fight goes into Lunet's favor again. Oh no, it's going into Omni Knight's favor. That was a turn of events.
Wow. That started looking really strong for the Nets, but Meiwaku is just a little bit too crispy with it. I mean, now Meiwaku also has this clock, and it's going to be so hard to just push that. But luckily the Ram ult is coming up, so it might be, if they go fast enough and just Ram ult straight into their backline, this should be a fight win for Loonets.
Yeah, but the backline is sitting on high ground, but the rotation for Loonets is going to catch him out of position. Like you said, the Ram ult in the backline, the SC Flops is going to go down. We're going to run after the break as well to trade onto point. The backline is dead for Omni Knights. It's not looking good for Omni Knights. Lunet's is getting a little bit distracted though, but we do get the Genji out. And now it's just up to Jinxie to die on point. And I don't think this is touchable for Omni Knights.
I mean, they can try, right? There's never a bad idea to try, but what's great about that is Maverick did exactly what he needed to do. Maverick went straight for the backline with the Ram ult, deleted the supports, and it was beautiful target coordination as well. The order of operations. Juno went first, then Brig went, and now you're left free to just get rid of the rest of the team. So I'm really happy with what Loonets did there.
Yeah. No, for sure. Jinxie not being staged on high ground there was this kind of disaster. Like, didn't see the rotation from the Loonets. Like, the backline didn't drop off high ground fast enough. Just caught them out in the open. Got the trade into Flops, and it was kind of just over from that point onwards. Next point here, Jinx going in for the aggressive slam off rip. The cage catches Maverick surprisingly. He's gonna get traded out here. And yeah, just a good cage from Jinxie. It seemed like Maverick accidentally walked into the cage.
Decaf gets 2 with a passive?
Decaf gets 2 with the May perk. That is some crazy Overwatch if I've ever seen it. Decaf dying late though. That's not great.
I mean, there are 2 down currently, so if Loonets go really fast and they don't wait this out, they can take this fight immediately, because it's just the supports and it's just the tank. So if they run onto there with the May ult, it's free money.
Yeah, I think that is what they need to try and do here. Like, May ult, force something out of Omni Knights, and then just maybe look for the Reaper. Jinxie again going for this really aggressive slam, gets walled off this time, but the Juno Ray coming through the wall. May ult, as if it was written in the cards, frozen onto Jinxie, pooped out of the May ult though. Sojourn is gonna get frozen as well. And Loonets are probably just gonna run over them here. Jinxie trying to make something happen, does make something happen with a trade onto Maverick. That's big for Omni Knights. The Juno Break's still alive, the sustain is still there, and the Loonets can't do anything without their tank.
I think, yeah, I was about to say the Reaper ult.
It's inspirational, it gets 1. This fight is so confusing. The May is still alive. Okay, it's finally over.
A very scrappy fight.
Very scrappy.
We used pretty much all of the ults on the board except the cage. Oh, the cage is for BM.
Cage to prevent the touch.
Right.
Last point of the map. Like,
yeah, I mean, that last fight was so unbelievably scrappy. It went on for too long, and the problem was that in that time, Omni Knights were in control of the point, so everything keeps ticking up, and, you know, Loonets, they use everything on the board to try and make that fight happen, and they still lose, and it just doesn't feel good in that moment, you know? Like, it's so tough, it's so hard. You try everything, you throw everything in the kitchen sink at the wall, and nothing sticks. And I feel like there was just a little bit of cohesion that was lacking there.
I mean,
Omni Knights put the pressure back properly. They read the fight, they read, you know, what everybody wants to do, countered it, and then threw a punch back. And that punch just, you know, caught them a little bit on the back.
It just hurt really hard. And I understand the Reaper ult from, I think it was Hands of Time there. Like, really low on objective time. I had to make something happen. And it's just, it all goes down to Long Live Lane's reaction time with the rally there, because if that hadn't have happened, Hands of Time would have got 2, and it would have just been Jinxie left, and the rest of Loonets were coming back. They would have been able to flip that point. But
I think it was so much different.
Yeah, props to both Hands of Time and Long Live Pain there for the quick decision making.
Yeah,
and I think
also Decaf's May with the ultimate right there. That was the right play. That was the right idea. I just think the cleanup was not there from Loonets. I think they just didn't zone in on who they needed to kill there.
Yeah, like you said, I think they're just getting a little bit lost. Just a little bit lost. Like, we saw the Sojourn frozen in that May ult for a long time, and he was just allowed to live.
Yeah.
And I think
on the side of Loonets, right, we keep talking about how there's this little bit of cohesion lacking, but that, I think, is their only issue currently.
Yeah.
Everything else looks good. They know what to do, they know where to be, they know how to get there, and they know how to manage their resources. It's just about stringing it together with every single team member. So, on the side of Loonets, right, they're not doing poorly. They are putting up a fight, and currently, yes, it's 2-0, but it's a really, really close 2-0. It's not a wash.
I'm, like, amazed by the performance from Loonets and both Omni Knights. Like, if these teams a couple months ago did not look this strong, and it's amazing to see how the teams have come up so much in such little time.
Yeah, I mean, with having these mentors as well and their normal coaches, I think just having them exposed to more Overwatch, more structured Overwatch, playing the game with each other. I know Loonets plays Overwatch a lot with each other because I see them in the Eagle Eye Discord all the time. And they, as friends, are just jamming, you know? So I think that also helps, you know, the wanting to play the game, the wanting to play with your team.
For sure.
It gives you this team synergy. I know what you want to do. I know what I want to do. I know how we want to do it together, and to get those goals aligned in your team, I think, is the most important thing. And I think Omni Knights have their goals aligned. They know where to go. They know where to be. They know how to respond. They're good on their feet.
Mm.